Hi everyone, my name is Camilo Rodriguez. I'm a TCP student, and this video is a word for my English class. I will talk about the ADM, that is the Aeronautical Decision Making. It's a program very important for the pilots. Aeronautical Decision Making is a program created by the FAA, that is the Federal Aviation Administration. And why it was created? Because was a necessity for a program for training the pilots and reduce the accidents by the human factor. We as TCPs we have the CRM, that is the Crew Resources Management, that help us to pick up a lot of elements of the work team, the airplane, the human factor. But the pilots need a program special for the moments that they need to take a decision, to make a decision that, for example, in an unknown situation or a complicated moment. Which is the difference between CRM and ADM? It's very easy. The CRM is used by all the crew, TCPs and pilots, and is the crew resources management that help us to use the human factor, the human resources, the elements of the airplane, our knowledge, and all those things. And the ADM is used by pilots, but is a part of something bigger, that is the SRM, that is the single pilot resources management. The pilots need this training because they need to make good decisions. For example, when they have a complex situation related to weather or related to something about the aircraft, they need to be prepared to affront these things. We as TCPs we don't need the ADM because we have the CRM, and the CRM is very important for the TCPs, for us, because for example in the situational awareness, in the every phase of the flight, we are using the CRM to communicate with our crew, to make decisions but relate to the cabin and all those things. Now the difference between hazard and risk. This is very easy too, because the hazard is a real situation, it's a condition that could be a problem for the flight. For example, the weather or a problems related to the aircraft. The hazard is the real condition. So when the pilot is face to face with the hazard, they make an assessment. This assessment is the same risk, it's an evaluation about the hazard. So, for example, we have a weather problem, a storm, and the pilots assign to 1 to 5 a number, for example 4. That's a very hard storm. That is the evaluation of the storm. The storm is the hazard, and the risk is the evaluation of that hazard and the problem that could be for the flight. Now we have the hazardous attitudes. There are 5. We have all of them. Commonly we have one that is more present than others. These 5 are anti-authority, macho, impulsivity, invulnerability, and the resignation. A very fast explanation about these 5 attitudes. There are, for example, anti-authority is the person that always says, don't tell me what to do, I know what to do, etc., etc. For example, the invulnerability is the person that always says, it won't happen to me. They always say, the situation is real, can happen to everyone, but not to me. And we have to the resignation, that is like the person who always is guided by the lucky. If the things are well, I'm good lucky, and if the things are bad, it's for the bad lucky. We have to the macho. The macho is the I can do it. It's the person who always wants to demonstrate that they can do everything. And we have to the impulsivity person. that is who only wants to people do the things but quickly, do it quickly. Commonly this person when need to make a decision take the first one that they have in mind. I have some examples for the hazardous attitudes but in the real life. For example, we remember the accident at Tenerife when two big planes crashed out in the runway with a bad weather. What was because the pilot of a big 747 took a position of anti-authority when the control tower, the engineer and the first officer said that there are two planes in the runway. Please wait for your takeoff. And the pilot said that we don't need to someone tell me what to do. I will take off. And in that, because the weather was very bad, they crashed out with another plane and dead a lot of people. Another one we have was an accident of Air India Express when the pilot was sleeping about the flight during the flight, and when they were to land, the distance between the airplane and the airport was very short. Normally they should do a go around, but in that moment the pilot took an attitude of macho, that is I can do it, and take the plane and go down, and finally they crash out with the ground near to the airport. Those accidents was for the hazardous attitudes. We have all of them, the 5 hazardous attitudes. For example, for me, I think that I have more present the invulnerability, that they won't happen to me, because sometimes I think that the things that happens to others never will happen to me. So how can I reduce that? I always think that I make a decision, good or bad, will have some consequences. So I think that something could be happen to me. So I'm prepared to everything, because I know that if I make a decision, I will have consequences and something could happen. I don't know why will happen. So for that I'm very prepared, because if I say nothing bad will happen to me, it's like lying myself. So I prepare but remembering that something, everything could happen to me. Remember, always try to mitigate these hazardous attitudes, because we never know what will happen. This is the end of the video. Thanks for watching and I hope see you later. Bye.